You've always been more than what the world has seen. You've been carrying the weight of an untold storm inside you, one they never knew was brewing. They saw the calm, the quiet surface, the calm waters you've mastered. But beneath that, there's a tempest, a power waiting to be unleashed, a force so powerful it would shake everything you thought you knew about yourself. No, you weren't made to be small, to live in the shadows of doubt, to fit into the boxes they've tried to place you in. You were born for more than the whispers of what you could have been, more than the labels they stuck on you, more than the limits they tried to define. For too long, you've allowed yourself to be contained, confined, to a life that never felt like it belonged to you. But listen, this isn't just a wake-up call. This is the storm you've been waiting for. It's time to stop pretending that you're not capable of greatness. It's time to stop letting others tell you who you are. You are not their words. You are not their expectations. You are not the limitations they've placed on you. It's all been a lie. And the truth is this: you were never meant to be ordinary. You're standing at the edge of everything you've ever wanted. You're standing on the cusp of a transformation so radical that you'll hardly recognize the person who steps into their future. But it starts now. This is your moment. The pain, the struggles, the doubts, they don't define you. They were just the beginning of something bigger, something more powerful than you ever imagined. You've been playing small, holding back the force of nature inside you, letting fear write the narrative of your life. And it's time to rewrite that story. Look around you. Every step you've taken, every challenge you've faced, every door that's been slammed in your face, every moment you thought you couldn't go on, they've all been preparing you for this, for the storm that is about to break loose from within you. Do you feel it? That ache, that desire to break free, to stand tall, to rise above the noise? That's not weakness. That's the call of your own power, the reminder that you are meant for something extraordinary. But here's the thing: they will never see it coming. They will never expect you to rise, to conquer, to outgrow every single limitation they placed on you. They will look at you and think you're the same person they've always known, the one who played small, the one who was afraid. And that's when you strike. You show them that you were never meant to fit in. You show them that you were the storm all along, and you're not afraid to let it tear down everything that's ever held you back. You don't need permission, you don't need validation, you don't need their approval. What you need is to look deep inside and recognize the force that's been waiting, the power that's been dormant. It's been waiting for you to realize that you don't need to play by their rules. You don't need to seek their approval. You are the storm. You are the one who will change everything. And as the winds begin to pick up, as the storm inside you grows stronger, you'll see it. You'll see the world shift. You'll see the doubt fade. You'll see the path ahead clear. This is your time, the time you take back what's always been yours, the time you rise from the ashes of what they thought you were. You are not a victim. You are not a bystander. You are the storm that changes everything, and no one saw it coming. Now, are you ready to let it loose? To stop pretending? To stop hiding behind the mask of doubt and fear? Because this is the moment when everything changes. The winds are picking up. You were always meant to be the force that moves mountains. It's time you start believing it. You're tired, you're exhausted, worn out from the constant battle against forces you can't even name. Every step forward feels like 1,000 steps backward, and no matter how hard you try to push, you always seem to hit another wall. There are days when it feels like you're running in place, trapped in a cycle that has no end. Maybe it's the people around you, the ones who've never believed in you, who've looked at you with doubt in their eyes, like you're not enough. Maybe it's the world itself that keeps pushing you down, setting you up for failure, making you question if it's all worth it. But deep down, you know something. They don't get it. They don't see you for who you really are. They don't understand the battle inside you, the fire that keeps burning even when you feel like you're barely hanging on. They've never walked in your shoes. They've never carried the weight you've been carrying. They haven't felt the sting of rejection, the quiet whispers of doubt that keep telling you you're not good enough. And you've been listening. You've been listening to those voices that try to pull you down, that try to convince you that you're too broken to rise, too weak to succeed. They told you that your dreams were too big, that your ambitions were foolish. They told you that you were too old, too young, too inexperienced, too flawed. The world has fed you this lie over and over again, and now you carry it like a weight around your neck, keeping you tethered to your fears. You don't need me to tell you about the sleepless nights, the moments of doubt that creep in when no one's around to hear. You don't need me to remind you of the times when you've looked in the mirror and wondered if you were ever going to be enough. You've been there. You've stood in that dark place, feeling like the weight of the world was pressing down on your chest, suffocating you. The frustration of not knowing how to move forward, the confusion of seeing others succeed while you're stuck, paralyzed by the very things that should fuel you. But here's the thing, you're not broken, you're not defeated. What you're feeling is real, yes, but it's not the end. It's not the final chapter. This is just the part of the story where it feels like everything is falling apart, but that doesn't mean it won't come together. It's not about where you are right now, it's about where you're going. And if you can just hold on a little longer, if you can push past this pain, you'll see that this struggle, this frustration, this feeling of failure, it's just a setup. A setup for the greatest breakthrough you've ever known. Do you feel it? That nagging voice in the back of your mind telling you that it's too late, that you've missed your chance? It's a lie. That voice is your enemy. That voice is the villain in your story. It's the fear, the doubt, the insecurity that's been placed in you by others who didn't know how to see your worth. It's the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough. It's the voice that tries to keep you in your place, to keep you small, to stop you from breaking free and claiming what's rightfully yours. And then there are the people. The ones who never believed in you, the ones who told you that you wouldn't make it, the ones who told you that your dreams were too big, too impossible, too out of reach. They didn't see your potential. They didn't see your strength. They only saw the struggles and the flaws, and they used that to hold you back. They didn't see you as someone who could change the world. They saw you as someone who should settle, someone who should accept their limitations. But here's the truth. They're not the ones who define you. They never were. Their words, their doubt, their fear, they don't matter. The only thing that matters is you. And if you can step away from their voices, from their judgments, you'll hear the voice that matters. The voice inside you that says, I am more than this. I am capable. I am worthy. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how? How do I overcome this? How do I move past this doubt, this frustration, this exhaustion? And I'm telling you right now, it's not about having all the answers. It's not about knowing exactly how to fix everything in one moment. It's about making the decision to keep moving forward, even when you don't feel like it. It's about knowing that the pain you're feeling, the doubt, the struggle, it's not the end of your story. It's the fire that's going to forge you into the person you were always meant to be. You're not stuck. You're just in a phase where the world is testing you, pushing you to see how bad you really want it. And I'm telling you now, you're stronger than you know. You've been through worse and you've made it this far. And what comes next? That's where your true power lies. That's where the transformation happens. But first you have to recognize that the villain, the doubt, the fear, they're not real. They're not bigger than you. You've got something they can't take away. Your strength, your resilience, your ability to keep going no matter what. You've been knocked down. I see it. I feel it. But I also see you standing back up. And this time when you stand taller. You stand stronger. You stand with a fire in your heart that no one can ever extinguish. This struggle, this pain, it's nothing compared to what you're about to become. So don't let this be the moment you give up. Let this be the moment you decide to rise above the doubt, to rise above the fear, to rise above everything that has tried to hold you down. Because you are not defined by your past. You are defined by the storm you are about to unleash. And trust me, they won't see it coming. There are moments when it feels like you've reached the end, when every road leads to a dead end, when every step forward feels like it only pushes you deeper into the quicksand of your circumstances. It's as if the universe itself has conspired against you, as if no matter how hard you try, no matter how much effort you pour into something, it's always one step too late. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts more than you can say. The weight of it all is suffocating. Every breath feels heavy, like the very air around you is thick with failure and frustration. In these moments, when the walls feel like they're closing in, it's easy to believe that this is your fate. This is who you are now, the person who tries and tries and tries again, only to be met with disappointment. You start to wonder if all of your dreams were just a cruel joke, a fantasy that was never meant to be real. The disappointment settles in, like a shadow that follows you everywhere, and no matter how hard you fight it, it won't go away. It gets harder to hold on to hope when it feels like everything you've worked for is slipping through your fingers, leaving you empty, hollow. Maybe you've reached a point where it feels like all your efforts have been in vain, that nothing you've done has mattered. The people around you, do they even see you? Do they even care? It's like you're invisible, like your struggles are unnoticed by the very people who should be supporting you. Maybe they've told you it's time to give up, that you've been trying for too long, that you're not cut out for this. Or worse, maybe they haven't said anything at all. Silence can be more painful than words. Silence can make you feel like your fight has no purpose, like you're alone in a battle that no one else even cares about. And then there's the fear that you'll never make it, the fear that all of this effort, all this pain, all this struggle, it was all for nothing. The fear that you'll stay stuck, that you'll never get out of this rut, never rise above the doubts and limitations that have been placed on you. It's a fear that eats away at your confidence, that tells you that you're not enough, that you'll never be enough. It whispers that you don't deserve success, that you don't deserve to be happy, that you don't deserve anything more than the misery you're trapped in. And here's the thing, I know it's hard. I know it's exhausting. It's hard to keep pushing when the only thing you see ahead of you is more of the same. The people around you, do they even see you? Do they even care? It's like you're invisible, like your struggles are unnoticed by the very people who should be supporting you. Maybe they've told you it's time to give up, that you've been trying for too long, that you're not cut out for this. Or worse, maybe they haven't said anything at all. Silence can be more painful than words. Silence can make you feel like your fight has no purpose, like you're alone in a battle that no one else even cares about. And then there's the fear. The fear that you'll never make it. The fear that all of this effort, all this pain, all this struggle, it was all for nothing. The fear that you'll stay stuck, that you'll never get out of this rut, never rise above the doubts and limitations that have been placed on you. It's a fear that eats away at your confidence, that tells you that you're not enough, that you'll never be enough. It whispers that you don't deserve success, that you don't deserve to be happy, that you don't deserve anything more than the misery you're trapped in. And here's the thing. I know it's hard. I know it's exhausting. It's hard to keep pushing when the only thing you see ahead of you is more of the same. It's hard to keep going when every step forward feels like 2 steps back. It's hard to believe in yourself when it feels like the world has already decided your fate. But I need you to hear this. Just because you're in the darkest part of the tunnel doesn't mean the light isn't waiting on the other side. What you're feeling right now, it's real. The pain, the frustration, the sense of being stuck, it's all valid. It's all part of the journey. And yes, it's painful, but that doesn't mean it's the end. It doesn't mean that this moment, this feeling, this sense of despair is where your story stops. It's just a chapter. It's just a chapter in the grand narrative of your life. And what's coming next? That's where the real story begins. But first, you have to face this moment. You have to sit in the discomfort, in the uncertainty, and acknowledge the fear. Acknowledge the doubts, acknowledge the pain. You don't have to deny it because it's real, but you also don't have to let it define you. You don't have to let it control you. Right now, it feels like you're drowning, like the weight of everything is too much to bear. But I'm telling you this, you are not going to drown. You are not going to sink into this despair. You are stronger than you realize. The truth is that this feeling of being trapped, of waiting for change, is the very thing that will propel you forward. Because change, real change, isn't going to come from waiting for someone else to save you. It isn't going to come from hoping that circumstances will magically shift. It's going to come from within you. It's going to come from the strength you've been ignoring, from the resilience that's been lying dormant, waiting for you to tap into it. You've been stuck in this loop for so long, waiting for a sign, waiting for a miracle, waiting for things to magically align. But what you don't realize is that the sign, the miracle, the breakthrough, it's already inside you. You've been searching for it in the wrong places. You've been waiting for the world to change, when what you really need to do is change how you see yourself in the world. I know it's hard to believe in yourself when it feels like everything is falling apart. I know it's difficult to see the light at the end of the tunnel, when the tunnel seems never ending. But you have to start somewhere. You have to start by believing that this moment of despair isn't the end of your story, it's just the turning point. It's the moment when you realize that you're not waiting for change, you are the change. There's a storm inside you and it's been waiting for you to awaken it. There's a power, a force, a drive that's been dormant, that's been smothered by your doubts and fears, but now is the time to let it rise. The world may have made you feel small. It may have made you feel like you were never enough, but you have everything inside you to break free from this trap, to rise above the limitations that have held you back, to overcome the fear and the doubt. You're standing on the edge of your own transformation. You're standing on the edge of your own power. And the only thing that's keeping you from stepping into it is the belief that you're stuck, that you can't change, that you can't overcome the pain. But the truth is that the change you're waiting for is waiting for you to take that first step. The change you seek isn't out there, it's within you. So sit with this pain, sit with the doubt, sit with the fear, but don't stay there. Don't let it consume you, because you're not trapped forever. This is just the moment before your breakthrough. And when that breakthrough comes, you'll look back on this and realize that it wasn't the end of your story, it was the beginning of everything you were meant to become. You've been through the fire, and it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on you. The darkness, the uncertainty. It's been suffocating. But I want you to hear me when I say this. The very darkness that you're feeling is the very thing that's setting the stage for something extraordinary. The universe in all its mystery has been preparing you. It's been shaping you, molding you into something unshakable, something powerful. And though it feels impossible right now, I promise you, this is not your end. This is your beginning. Right now, you may feel like you're lost in the shadows, unsure of which direction to go. Every step feels uncertain. like you're walking blindfolded, trying to find your way through the storm. But here's the truth. The greatest transformations happen in the dark. Think about it. Every seed that grows into a mighty tree is first planted in the dark, deep beneath the surface. And as it grows, it pushes its way through the dirt, reaching for the light. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. It takes patience. But it is inevitable. The seed cannot remain buried forever. It will rise. And so will you. You've been planted. Right now, you're in the soil, hidden from sight. But that doesn't mean you're not growing. In fact, it means you are. You've been fed by the struggles, nourished by the pain, and strengthened by the resistance. The very things you feared, failure, rejection, disappointment, they are not obstacles. They are the soil that is nourishing you. They are the resistance that is helping you grow stronger. You've been in the darkness long enough. It's time for you to break free and reach for the light. It's hard to see it now, but your struggles have been preparing you for greatness. Every setback, every failure, every moment of doubt, it's been laying the groundwork for your transformation. The things you've thought of as limitations, they are actually lessons. Lessons that will guide you to your moment of breakthrough. The universe is not working against you. It's working for you. And every hardship you've faced is part of the grand design, leading you toward a destiny you can't yet fully comprehend. I know it feels like you've been stuck, like you've been spinning your wheels, going nowhere. But I want you to understand this. It is in the darkest moments that the seeds of your future are planted. The struggles you're going through now are like the breaking of the earth for that seed to take root. And just as the seed doesn't immediately sprout into a full-grown tree, your progress may not be visible right now, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. You are growing, you are changing, and soon you will rise. But before that happens, you have to realize something. This is not your punishment. This is not your failure. This is your training. The pain you've been carrying, it's the force that's pushing you upward, even when you don't see it. The failures, they're the lessons you need to learn in order to build the resilience that will carry you through. The rejection, it's the universe's way of saying that you are meant for something greater, that you will rise above this, stronger than you were before. Change starts from within. It begins with your mindset, with your willingness to believe that you are not as weak as they've made you feel. You are not what they've told you. You are not the limitations they've placed on you. You are not the fear that has tried to hold you back. You are the sum of your strength, your resilience, your ability to rise no matter what. Think about the times in your life when you've faced hardship, when you've faced fear, when you've been on the verge of giving up. Did you stay down? Did you let that moment define you? No, you got back up. You kept going. Even when you couldn't see the way, you kept moving forward. And that's what you have to keep doing now, even if the path is unclear, even if the darkness feels like it's consuming you. You keep going. You keep reaching for the light, knowing that it is already within you. It's already there waiting for you to step into it. This is the moment when everything shifts. This is the moment when you decide that you are not just surviving, you are growing, you are evolving. You are becoming something greater than you ever imagined. And the struggles, the pain, the doubt, they're just the raw material that is shaping you, molding you into the person you were always meant to be. Every storm you've weathered, every wound you've healed, every piece of your brokenness, it's all part of the process. It's all part of the plan, and that plan is leading you to something magnificent. You are not stuck in the dark forever. Just like the seed, you are going to break through. You are going to rise up from the soil, from the place of your deepest struggles, and you are going to become unshakable. Your transformation is already in motion. The universe is conspiring to bring you into your power, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop it. So hold on. Keep faith in the process. Keep believing in your strength. Keep moving forward, even when you can't see the way. Because soon, very soon, you will rise. You will rise stronger, more powerful, more capable than you've ever been before. And the world won't know what hit it, because they'll look at you and they'll see the storm you've become, and they'll never, ever be able to stop you. You've been through so much. The pain, the heartbreak, the rejection, the moments when you thought you couldn't go on. But it's time to stop seeing yourself as a victim of these circumstances. It's time to stop feeling like you're powerless, like you have no control over your future. Because here's the truth. You've been stronger than you've ever realized. Your struggles have been the forge that's shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. Now, it's time for you to recognize that strength. It's time for you to realize that you have been building resilience without even knowing it. Every time you fell, you got back up. Every time you were knocked down, you rose again. You've been through the fire, and each time you emerged more solid, more unbreakable than before. Your past does not define you. It's only a part of your story. And now it's time for you to take the pen and write the next chapter, one where you are the hero. What if I told you that you've been training for this moment your entire life? What if I told you that the pain, the struggles, the failures, They've all been preparing you for your ultimate victory. They haven't been obstacles to your success. They've been stepping stones. They've been the foundation upon which your future is being built. You are not weaker because of your struggles. You are stronger. You are tougher, more resilient, and more capable than you've ever known. And now, it's time for you to start acting like it. Look at the storm. Look at the way it rises, growing stronger with every moment, feeding on the winds that once tried to stop it. You are like that storm. The more you face adversity, the more powerful you become. Your struggles are not weakening you, they are fueling you, pushing you to rise higher and higher. You are like the storm that gathers strength, gathering power from every obstacle it faces, and when it unleashes, it leaves nothing in its wake but transformation. It's time to stop waiting for someone else to save you. It's time to stop looking for validation from the outside world. The truth is, no one can save you but yourself. No one can change your life but you. It's time for you to take the reins, to stop being a passive observer of your own story and become the active participant, the driving force. This is your journey, and it's up to you to shape it. You have the power to change your life, to overcome the odds, to rise above the fear, the doubt, and the struggle. And the first step is realizing that you are not defined by your pain. You are not defined by your past mistakes, your failures, or your regrets. You are defined by your resilience, your ability to rise, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. This is the shift you've been waiting for. It's the moment when you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a victor. It's the moment when you take control of your life and start believing in your own power. You are no longer the person who waits for change to come to them. You are the person who goes out and creates the change. You are the person who takes action, who makes things happen. Think about the moments in your life when you thought you couldn't go on. Think about the times when you thought you'd hit rock bottom, when you felt like there was no way out. And now, look at how far you've come. You're still here. You made it through. You didn't give up, even when the odds were stacked against you. That is your power. That is your strength. That is the resilience that will carry you through anything. Now it's time to tap into that strength. It's time to stand tall, to claim your power, and to step into the life that you've always wanted. The pain you've carried has only made you stronger. It's given you the foundation you need to build something incredible. And now you have everything you need to create the life you deserve. You are not weak. You are not small. You are not insignificant. You are a force to be reckoned with. And it's time for the world to see that. It's time for you to stop hiding your power, stop doubting yourself, and start living the life you were always meant to live. Your power is rising, just like the storm gathering strength. The winds that once tried to stop you are now fueling you. Every struggle, every setback, every disappointment, it's all part of the process. It's all leading you to this moment, the moment when you realize that you have the power to change your life, to overcome anything and to become everything you've ever dreamed of. Your pain has been the seed, and now it's time for you to grow. It's time for you to rise, to stretch your roots deep into the earth, and to soar toward the sky. You are the hero of your own journey, and from here on out, nothing will stand in your way. This is your moment. This is your time to shine. It's time to stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're worthy. You were born for greatness, and now it's time to claim it. You have everything you need inside you to overcome every obstacle, to rise above every challenge, and to create a life that is nothing short of extraordinary. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and step into your power. The storm inside you is just getting started, and when it hits, the world won't know what hit it. You are unstoppable. You've been holding back. You've been playing small, afraid to truly step into your power, but now something is shifting. The truth is finally starting to sink in, and with each passing moment, it becomes clearer. You are not who you used to be. The person you were, the one full of doubt, the one who questioned every decision, the one who believed they weren't good enough, is no longer who you are. That version of you is gone. It was never really you. It was the fear, the insecurities, the lies you told yourself that kept you trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and limitation. But now, the truth has been revealed. You've seen it. You've felt it. The storm that's been brewing inside you, your strength, your resilience, your power, it's undeniable. And now you stand at a crossroads. You stand at the point of no return. This is the turning point. The moment when you decide who you are going to be. Will you continue to let fear dictate your actions? Will you continue to hide behind the walls you've built? Or will you step into your power, fully aware of the force you have become? You are no longer the victim. You are no longer the person who waits for life to happen to them. You are the creator of your own destiny. This is your life, your story, and you have the power to write the next chapter however you choose. The old you, the doubter, the one who second-guessed everything, let that person go. You don't need them anymore. They've served their purpose, but now it's time for you to rise as the empowered, unstoppable force you were always meant to be. There is no more waiting. There is no more maybe one day. That day is today. This moment is all you have, and this moment is enough. The life you've always dreamed of is within your grasp. You are ready. You are more than enough. You are everything you need to succeed. And this, right here, is the moment when everything changes. Can you feel it? That surge of energy coursing through you, that power that you've been ignoring for so long. It's yours, all of it. It was inside you the whole time, and now you see it. And now you own it. You've been held back by the belief that you were too small, too insignificant, too weak. But you know the truth now. You are not small. You are not weak. You are not insignificant. You are a force of nature, a storm waiting to be unleashed. And when you rise, nothing will stand in your way. The doubt, gone. The fear, gone. The insecurity, gone. You have transcended all of that. You have risen above it. And now, all that's left is the powerful, unstoppable version of yourself. This is who you were always meant to be. This is who you were always destined to become. But the question remains, will you embrace it? Will you step into your new identity, your new power, and claim what is rightfully yours? Or will you continue to play small, to live in the shadows of your own potential? This is the moment that matters. This is the moment that defines everything. Because once you step into your power, there is no going back. Once you embrace this truth, that you control your destiny, that everything in your life will change. You will never again be the person who doubts themselves, who wonders if they're good enough, who waits for permission. You will be the person who goes after what they want with everything they've got. You will be the person who takes control of their life, who shapes their future, who creates their own success. This is it. This is your awakening. The time for waiting, for wondering, for doubting is over. Now is the time for action. Now is the time for you to rise, to be the person you were always meant to be. The storm that's inside you, it's ready to break free. And when it does, there's no force on earth that will be able to stop you. Go out there, take that first step, create the life you've always dreamed of, because you are unstoppable. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were born to leave a legacy. And now it's time to show the world just what you're made of. Take action, be bold, be fearless. The world is waiting for you.